everybody, and welcome to another Sweatpants Saturday here at my home. See my sweatpants? See? Sweatpants Saturday. I'm Lisa. I'm an admin here at, at IndriVanilla.com, just at Indri's Vanilla Bean Group. And I like to do this. This is just fun for me. I'm here in my home. We're going to do a little cooking. We're going to answer some vanilla bean questions. If you have any questions or anything you'd like me to talk about or discuss, please put it in the comments. And I've got my amazing daughter, Katie, behind the camera. Say hi, Katie.
Hi.
She will be reading off questions and being my cameraman today. All right, so exciting moment. Tomorrow is my 40th birthday. That's a big day for me. And so today we're going to make my birthday cake. And after much deliberation, mainly after my kids were like, no, this is the one that we got to make. We're going to make Tres Leches cake. So Tres Leches is a Mexican cake. And in Spanish, the words Tres Leches mean 3 milks. So it features 3 different types of milk. They're all cow milk, but we use sweetened condensed milk, evaporated milk, and cream to make kind of this, like, you pour it over the finished, make a really light chiffon cake, and then you pour these mixed milks over them after they're done, and it absorbs and it gets really creamy, kind of a pudding consistency. I love it. It's one of my very most favorites, hence why I was willing to make it for my birthday cake. So we're going to make that first, and then I'm also going to make a simple pulled pork today, so that we can have vanilla in a savory application as well as a sweet. The Tres Leches cake recipe comes from I'm going to grab the cookbook right here, from our IndriVanilla Vault cookbook. Let me show that. And that's where the Tres Leches cake comes from. The pork recipe is not in here, but I have linked the recipes. I put them in a Google Doc, and I've linked that in the description of this video. So if you're interested in following the recipes along, you can pop over there and do that. So let's get to work. Is there anybody watching?
Yeah, 9 people.
Wow, we already have 9 people. Anyway, please, and if you're here, please say hi. Tell us where you're from, where you're watching from, or what you're doing today on Saturday. Maybe what the weather's like in your life.
Charlene said happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Charlene. Okay, so my book does not want to stay open. That's one of the downsides. I know a lot of people got this book and got it spiral bound afterwards, and I think that was a really smart idea. I did not. All right, so here we go. So Tres Leches cake, like I said, is a chiffon, very light cake, and that means that I'm going to basically spend my life savings in eggs for this recipe. And I'm making a double batch because I'm going to a party tomorrow, and so I'm going to make one big cake and one smaller cake. The smaller cake is going to be just for me to keep as my leftovers so that I can enjoy that when I want. I'll probably, Katie's pointing to herself and saying, me too, me too. I'm like, we'll see. We'll see. Depends on how well you do with this. I'm going to use my scissors to keep my book open here. Okay, so this cake, we start with the dry ingredients. So I've already measured in here 2 cups of flour. Again, I'm making a double batch, so you usually use a cup of flour, and we are going to add to it some salt and some baking powder, and I do have other kids in this house and a husband in this house, so they might be in and out, or you might be hearing them in the background. All right, so baking powder, salt, that's our dry ingredients. Hang on, I'm going to grab a whisk. And just to save us time, because I didn't want this video to go on for 7 years, I got some of this stuff pre-measured. So that's our dry ingredients, pretty simple. Then over here, I've started separating my eggs. I did most of them. So like I said, this uses a lot of eggs. The regular recipe that fills a 13 by 9 pan. So this is not a small cake, but it calls for 5 eggs. So I've done 10 eggs today. Like I said, I'm dropping my whole life savings on it. All right, and to the egg yolk, oh, I need to still separate the last one. I wanted to show you how I separate eggs. With something where we're gonna be whipping the egg whites, it's really important not to get any egg yolk in the whites because that little bit of fat will prevent the egg whites from whipping. So I like to separate the egg white into a separate little bowl in case there's any problems. Like while I was even separating these egg yolks, you can see I had one of them break on me and I was able to evacuate it into this bowl in time. And once I've separated the egg white out, I pour it into where the rest of my egg whites are. But that way I can just make sure that I don't get any tiny flecks of shell or of egg yolk in these precious egg whites. Let's see if it's hard to talk while you're on a live video. Sometimes I just pour the egg into my clean hand and then just kind of use my fingers to get the egg white off. Or you can kind of go back and forth in the shells. If you prefer an egg separator, they make those little devices that kind of separate out the yolks. It's up to you, however you want to do it. Okay, ready. So that was my final egg that I needed to separate. The whites I'm putting into my mixer so that we can whip them up, and the yolks went into a separate larger bowl. So we will get those whipping in just a moment, but one of the dangers of pre-measuring everything is that you knock it over and make a mess. It's okay, it was only a tiny little bit of sugar. So I'm gonna add part of the sugar to the yolks and part we will whip in with the whites. The recipe calls for a cup of sugar total, but again, I'm doubling this batch. So that was 1.5 cups of sugar in with the yolks, and I've got the other half of a cup, so 2 cups total that will go in with the whites. All right, so we are going to whisk the yolks and the sugar together until they're light yellow and kind of ribbony. Yeah. All right, while I'm working on this, I want you to come over here and let me talk really fast. So I said this recipe is in the IndriVanilla cookbook. And we're doing a coupon sale or coupon code just for people who are watching this live video. I will edit this part out when I edit this down for content later. So if you want to get $3 off the IndriVanilla Vault cookbook, you can use coupon code Sweatpants, all in capital letters, SWEATPANTS, and for $3 off the IndriVanilla Vault cookbook. That coupon code is good for a week, but as supplies last. All right, I'm gonna put that to the side. We might shout that out later, but just save that screenshot for a second. Okay, so I need your help, you beanies. I need your help deciding which of I grabbed 6 different varieties because I couldn't whittle it down of vanilla that we could use in this cake. And I need your help to decide what we've got. So what I pulled, maybe I'll hand this off to another child. Hey, other child, will you just whisk this for a minute while I talk through vanilla? Okay, all right, so this one is only like 8 months old, but oh man, it's smelling so good. All right, I'm gonna have Katie help me too. She doesn't have to go on screen. She'll be just smiling off screen here. So this is huahine or wahine. Wahine? I can never remember. Huahine? I can't remember how to pronounce it. V. tahitensis vanilla beans. They are a retail exclusive vanilla bean that are really cotton candy-ish. Oh man. And I put this in ocean vodka. Obviously, that's the like premium high-end. I honestly had to get this out of state because I live in Utah and they don't sell it here. Or at least they don't sell it in where I live. I think if I had gone to a bigger liquor store, like down in Salt Lake, I probably could have found it. But all right, Katie, smell that one.
Oh, it's very like sweet.
Yeah, it's super, super sweet. Do you want to try smell it?
Sure.
Do you want to come on camera and smell it? Okay, other child. My youngest here is gonna pop in her cute face for a minute.
Oh, that is sweet.
Yeah, it's one of my, like I said, I only started that one in June of 2024, so that's only like 8 months old. But it's already smelling really nice and it's really dark. Okay, then this is another one of my favorites. This is Hawaiian vanilla beans in Tennessee honey whiskey. I think I fortified it with just a little bit of Everclear because this is normally 70 proof and I brought it up just a smidge, but it didn't need very much. Okay, next nose.
It's a lot less sweet. I feel like it's more tangy.
Yeah, this one has that honey. It's more robust. All right, other child.
Yeah, that one's more tangy.
More tangy.
Yeah, it's not sweet. I have good words.
Okay. This one is Vanuatu V Planifolia, another retail exclusive vanilla bean in diluted Everclear.
Oh, I don't know how to explain that one. That one's like, it's a mix. It's like sweet, but also
Yeah. Because it's just Everclear and distilled water, I'm not getting as much like other flavor notes from the alcohol, which is to be expected. Diluted Everclear is very neutral. So, okay, but that one was made in 2021. So that is one of the older ones that I have. Okay, this one was actually from a Bean Wrangler rum experiment where we compared like 6 kinds of rum or 5 kinds of rum with all the same type of vanilla bean. It was made in June of 2023, so it's about a year and a half old. And it's mixed beans, and this is in Gosling's Black Seal Bermuda rum. Okay.
I love vanilla.
That's helpful. This one I feel is warmer, darker, richer, more chocolatey. Okay, then just because, so Tres Leches cake is a very, well, milk, it's got the flavor of milk because we're using all these types of milk in them. So it is a very prominent, vanilla has room to really shine. And you can go lighter or you can go darker with it. It just kind of depends on what you want. This one is Tahitian coconut, it's Papua New Guinea Tahitian, V. tahitensis vanilla beans in Parrot Bay coconut rum. So this one has a coconut hint to it from the rum, the coconut rum. Katie just made a face like this at me.
I don't really like that one.
You don't like that one?
I don't like, well, it smells good, but just I don't think it'd be very good with the cake.
Okay. Awesome. And then the last one that I grabbed, see if I can show you. This says Mystery Beans, Mystery Booze, started December 29th, 2021. So I don't even know what's in this one. I was probably making a bunch of experiments and I had little bits and ends and since from various types of alcohol, and I probably had all kinds of beans that from our wrangling process. So I don't even know what's in here. And obviously I've used part of it.
Kimberly asked, what do
sorry, it was kind of aerosolized and it hit me with just alcohol.
What do you do with all the vanilla when you're only using 1 or 2 teaspoons?
What do I do with all this vanilla? Well, my job kind of encourages me to make lots of kinds for people so that we can have experience. So please don't compare your needs with what I do. That's not super fair. But I like to do taste tests with my friends and my kids. I like to gift vanilla to I've got lots of nieces and nephews that are all getting into that getting married age, and they get like vanilla for their weddings. And I did find I started using a lot more vanilla when I had good vanilla to use and when it was plentiful. And I like the way that my food tastes when I add more vanilla. I like the way that my baked goods taste. I like the way that even my savory applications go. I enjoy that. So I feel like you use more when you have it, but please don't feel pressured to make more than you really need.
The older
you know
the
what?
better. You know?
Yeah. And once you get it started, like the older that it is, I don't know, the better it is, I don't know. Okay, now this has a moment to breathe. It's not quite just so, because I had been shaking them all up before I started this just so that they would be ready to go. And so this one had like a lot of aerosolized alcohol right by the lid, and I opened it and I stuck my face in it and it kind of was astringent there. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. You don't want an alcohol facial. But this is our mystery beans, mystery booze. Now that it's breathed for a second, it's not quite so much, but still protect your nose, Katie, as you smell that. That doesn't bode well for this poor, I thought this would be for sure the clear winner, but now we're all like choking on it. Ooh, and it dripped right there. Oh, the little one wants to come and smell the last. Did you, which ones did you try this one?
No.
Oh, do you want to try that one?
Ooh, that's like really rich.
Yeah, this one's like really complex and dark and rich in flavor. Of course, it's been going since 2021, so, you know, yeah. This is the coconut rum and...
oh, that smells so good.
Okay.
I think you should remember. I don't know. I don't really like that one.
Okay.
I feel like when you the pictures.
All right, so I need you all, so Katie, show them the numbers. So I need you to vote in the comments really fast so that we can choose one. Huahine v. Tahitensis in ocean rum. Do we want Hawaiian beans in Tennessee honey is a double fold. Do we want Vanuatu beans in Everclear and distilled water in this cool Voss water bottle? Do we want Gosling's Black Seal Bermuda rum with mixed beans? Also, I think these are all double fold because that's kind of how I roll. Do we want P&G Tahitensis beans in coconut rum? Or do we want mixed beans, mixed booze? All right.
You have two.
Got a couple votes for one. That's kind of where I'm leaning too, but I'm not trying to sway votes. I think Elsie's vote was 5. Katie said not 5.
Vicky says 5.
I think it should be 1 or 5 because if it's supposed to be
It's like-
sweet cake, then I think it would be better with
It's like
less
1 or
than a
5.
rich.
1 or 5. Yeah, I think that we're all kind of agreeing that 1 and 5 were the sweetest, lightest, brightest that would pair really nicely with the Tres Leches cake.
Tres Leches, same thing.
My kid Elsie's over there saying Tres Lace, Tres Lace, Tres Lace. And I'm like, no, it's Tres Leches.
Tres Leches. Did I do it right?
I think 5 is the winner because we've had like 200 people say 5.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just needed a drink.
I think this is 5 mixed.
Both of them? A little bit of both?
Like 5 and 1?
I think that can be really cool.
I think that, did you get those all whisked?
I don't know. Don't open my thumb.
Oh, I don't know if you can. Elsie's been over there working on this. Sweet Elsie. All right, so this is the egg yolks and the sugar. And see how ribbony, how they fall off in ribbons and they just kind of puddle in there. You can't really tell that it's egg yolks at all. They're super light and fluffy. And taking that time to build the air, like whip the air into these. We're also going to whip the egg whites, but these kinds of steps really define your texture of your cake. So you don't want to skip them. All right, so what's the final verdict? What are we deciding on?
I think 5 is definitely the winner.
5 is the winner. So we're going to use Parrot Bay Coconut Rum and Papua New Guinea V Tahitensis. If you're a coconut fan, I really like the Parrot Bay Coconut Rum. And it does hold on to the coconut, a little bit of that coconut flavor. I think once we get it into the cake, it's not going to be as noticeable. But you should also let people know that you used coconut rum, because if there's any allergies or anything like that, you'll want to watch out for that. Okay, and oh, my husband's over there. All right, I was trying to think of the best way to get this out of here. I mean, we could just totally just like dump, but that gets just a little bit intense. Okay, so, well, should we go for it?
Yeah, go for it.
A very, very careful measured pour. Whoop, that sounds good to me. Okay, so that's that. However much that was, it was probably between 2 and 3 teaspoons of this vanilla extract. Okay, so we've added some vanilla extract to our egg yolks and our sugar that Elsie whipped like crazy. We're gonna get the egg whites whipping. Get that going. Maybe not that fast. Once that gets started and the egg yolks, or sorry, the egg whites are pretty frothy, they're just starting to get frothy and not so gloopy anymore, then we're gonna start slowly drizzling in the other portion of our sugar. Now, if I was making a single batch of Tres Leches cake, this would be a 1/4 cup of sugar, but this is 1/2 cup of sugar. And because it's my birthday and I am being totally extra, we are also going to add the caviar of a vanilla bean. I just pulled this out of the mixed beans, mixed booze jar because they're really plump. My guess is this is probably a Madagascar Mexican cure, but I honestly don't recall what I mean, it's mixed beans, mixed booze. I don't know what was in there. Yeah. So we're going to squeeze in the caviar. So this will be fun because I can show it to you. So I like to cut off, use just sharp kitchen shears to cut off the end of my, you can already see it like oozing out of there, of my vanilla bean. And then I'm going to just squeeze it like a tube of toothpaste. And does it look totally trippy? Yeah. Don't worry, you'll survive. But that is the vanilla caviar. That's the seeds of this vanilla bean. And you can see that one that it's been soaking in rum. Now the caviar themselves don't have, like, the seeds themselves don't have a ton of flavor, but all of that goo, that sticky goo, that's the tissue that holds the seeds into the bean, that does have flavor. This pod also has a lot of flavor. So you can either like put it back in your jar, or you can use it to make vanilla sugar or vanilla salt. There's lots of opportunities to use this, lots of things that we can do. I might set it over here and actually include this pod in my pulled pork. So we'll just save that for later. But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about this stuff that was stuck to my fingers, so other than to wash it down the drain. So, sorry.
So good though.
Does it?
Caviar.
Yep. Okay. So my egg whites are whipping. I'll kick those up a little bit. Just double check my recipe. Okay, so we're gonna add the flour, the dry ingredients to the egg yolks, and then we're going to add some milk. So, and I didn't know how long this would take me. Oh boy, it's taking me a long time. So there goes my dry ingredients. Put that away in the sink. Into my egg yolks. Hang on.
Monica just licks off the feet.
Yeah.
Can't waste it.
If you can tolerate that to just lick it right off, well then be my guest. That's okay by me. Okay, so we're gonna start mixing this in. This is gonna get pretty thick. And add some milk. This is a double batch of Tres Leches cake. The original recipe for just a 13 by 9 pan calls for 1/3 a cup of milk, so obviously I'm adding 2/3 of a cup. We're almost there. Add the rest of the milk. I just want to be gentle as I do this. Now, obviously, if I hadn't stopped for a 15-minute smell test, I probably could have gotten through this faster, but look at all that vanilla caviar in this cake. Oh, it's looking gorgeous. Happy birthday to me. I'm gonna change out my tools here a little bit. Now that I've got that part whisked together. Is that Katie gonna lick it?
Oh.
We still dripped some on the floor. I'll clean it up real fast. All right. How's our egg whites looking? We want to whip those to medium stiff. I think they're about there, actually.
Maybe.
I think they're actually pretty good. See the way that they curl over? They're not totally stiff, but they're certainly whipped. So I think that that'll be good right there. Okay.
How do we do this?
Yeah, so because I'm making a double batch, I'm just trying to think if I can fold all of those egg whites into my other cake batter here. And I don't know if my bowl will handle it, but I'm gonna do a trick that I hope isn't totally cheating. I am going to actually pour this into here and just whisk it in.
I think that is cheating.
You think that's cheating? Yeah. Well, if it fails, then it's on me. And I can probably make another whole cake and edit it in because I did see a guy do this. He field tested on YouTube. I'm making a mess on the side of my KitchenAid here. And he came to the conclusion that folding in your egg whites was best practice, but for most home cooks, you'd never tell the difference as just whisking them in like this. So I'm gonna put my faith in the amazing vanilla to be the star of the show, and if my egg whites deflate a little bit because of my method here being crummy, then again, it's kind of on me. Just gonna quickly whip it back together just for just a second. Okay, I think that's good.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so this is our Tres Leches cake batter. It smells really good too, doesn't it, Katie?
Well, I think I'll go 19.
My husband's making tea behind me, or hot water or something. I don't know what he's making, but he got the hot water thing going. Okay, so like I said, oh, that does look good. We're just gonna quickly
You're scaring them with the mixing.
Sorry, you didn't know this would be a Sweatpants Saturday high stress version. So I'm gonna do about 3/4 of my cake batter into my big pan. This is a 15 by 11 cake pan. No, not 15. Yes, 15 by 11 glass pan. And then this one is 8 by 8. And we're gonna put some in there. And I'm really living on the edge because I'm not like weighing this or measuring it. I'm just eyeballing it. This one is gonna go to the party. This one's gonna be for
me.
No, for me.
I'll speak a few bites.
All right, that looks so good. All right, let me just clean up real fast. So that's my Tres Leches cake. Now that is going to bake for a while. Now, please feel free to leave whenever you need to leave. You don't have to watch this whole video because I was planning on letting this go into the oven and, sorry, I need to remove that rack. I was planning on this, like I wanted to show you adding the milk at the end, but that means that it's going to be a long bake time. It's going to be probably about 25 minutes. I do have a convection oven, so it will go a little bit faster in my oven thanks to having it on convection. But I'll pull out the little one sooner than the big one. The big one will take a while. So I'm going to, I don't know. If we'll just keep doing this until it's done, and you feel free to leave whenever you need. Okay. Do we have any questions so far? Or anything that people would like to talk about? I'm going to also set another timer so that for the big cake. So I put one timer for the little one, but the big cake is going to take probably about 40 minutes. So we'll set 2 timers. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments, and Katie will read them off. She's my child who's holding the camera. I just did want to take a second. So we have our IndriVanilla cookbook. This is the wrong side. My page closed on me. Where'd it go?
Close the page.
No, seriously, where did it go?
It's right left. Hold on.
There it is. This is a live video. Anyway, if you want $3 off of the IndriVanilla Vault cookbook that it has a whole bunch of recipes. I'll show it to you in just a second. You can use the coupon code Sweatpants, SWEATPANTS, all caps, for $3 off at IndriVanilla.com. I put a link to that item in the description, so you can click that description, use this coupon code at checkout for $3 off of that.
So, when are you gonna get more Cook Island beans?
We have them coming in and out all the time. Last I checked, they were in stock, but if they are out of stock right here today, we'll probably be getting more fairly soon. They're one that we've been able to get relatively quickly from our supplier. So just keep an eye out on the retail site, and if it lets you add them to the cart, then they're in stock. And if it doesn't, then we might need to wait a couple of weeks before we're able to restock them.
I think Barbara wants some cake.
Ooh.
Like, my only question is, what time do we show up for cake?
Well, tomorrow is my birthday, so.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be eating all the cake.
Too bad. You'll have to fight off all of my teenagers. I have many of them. So this is the Tres Leches cake from the IndriVanilla cookbook. This is what our cookbook looks like. Just a little, somebody asked for a little flip through, so that's what I'm trying to do. So all of these recipes that are in this cookbook were submitted by Indri's Vanilla Bean Group members. So just some of our beanies, they were just their favorites. And you can see we've got some nice photos. We started the book with a lot of our resources that we have on our resources page. So we have like some of our most popular vanilla bean. We have flavor profiles. We have an awesome vanilla extract ratios chart. Then we go through and we have lots and lots of recipes with pretty pictures. We have, let me just read off the different contents. They're not all sweet. we don't have a lot of savory recipes in here, but they're not all sweet. We have beverages, appetizers, beverages, breads, muffins and rolls, breakfasts, cupcakes, cakes, cheesecakes, condiments, confections, cookies, desserts, entrees, frostings and glazes, pies, puddings, side dishes, miscellaneous, and then we have the glossary and the index. And the glossary is like the glossary of terms that we have in our resources page. And that is like, if you want to know what caviar is, those small black seeds inside of the vanilla pod. So it's just kind of a helpful glossary of terms. And then of course the index and the list of contributors. So that's the IndriVanilla Vault Cookbook. It's available for purchase either through our retail website, which I put the link up above, or we can order it directly through our publisher, Lulu Press. We get a cut from either way, so it doesn't, but if you want to add it to an order of things that you're already purchasing from IndriVanilla, then purchasing it from us allows you to add it to your order. Anyway, we'll ship you on.
Can you explain a little bit how to use the caviar and what the positive notes of it is? I'm a newbie.
Okay, so the caviar are the vanilla seeds, and we already put the seeds of the bean, of one bean's worth of caviar in our Tres Leches cake. It's pretty. If you've ever had like vanilla bean ice cream and you see the little black speckles in there, that's that vanilla caviar. This is seeds. It's one of my nephews called it the vanilla freckles, which was really cute. So it's pretty. It does have vanilla flavor. It's maybe not as intense as vanilla extract or vanilla powder or vanilla paste, but it does have vanilla flavor. So if you're making something like frosting or whipped cream or creme brulee or vanilla pudding, where you're looking at it and you want to see those little black speckles throughout because you want people to know that there's real vanilla bean in there, then vanilla caviar is a great way to go that way.
It's also sweeter, and isn't it? Not the flavor.
Yeah. I don't know if it's sweeter than vanilla extract. It's not as sweet as vanilla paste because with vanilla paste, you actually are adding sugar. But yeah, that's how that goes. Let's flip around and let's do the pork while we talk about this and while the cake cooks. So feel free to ask other questions. All right. So just so you know what I'm doing, I'm making some savory recipe now because we like to have multiple options. And so we get lots of requests for savory dishes that use vanilla. And this is my version of pulled pork. It's not barbecue. I'm not smoking it. I'm not that talented, nor do I have the right equipment for that. So, and I mean like a grill equipment, not that kind of equipment, you guys. That's gross. Anyway, so I normally would put this all together first thing in the morning if I was making this pulled pork. But because I was doing this for a live video and I still wanted to be able to eat it today, I started the pork just in the crock pots just so that it could kind of get cooking. So that it would be done, because it does take like 10 to 12 hours. Maybe not 10 to 12. If you've got it on high and it was a thawed, fully thawed pork roast, then it's going to be like 8 hours. If it's a frozen pork roast, it might be closer to 10 to 12. Anyway, just got to get rid of my onion pieces here. I like this pulled pork recipe. It's very simple, and you can dress it up in different ways, whatever you would like. I today will be mixing in barbecue sauce at the end so that I can make pulled pork sandwiches. And I like to serve them on buns with, we like Fritos. Maybe I'll make a little side salad with some lettuce and tomato and stuff, and that will be our dinner tonight. We like to put the Fritos like on the sandwich so that it's like crunchy and stuff. That's how I like to serve these. But in the recipe, the Google Docs recipe that I shared in the description of this video, I included a couple of other options, like a more like if you want it for tacos or burritos, what you can do to turn it that way, or if you want to make it more like an Asian style and serve it over rice, how you can do that. This pork is great just on its own as well, without any extra sauces or anything at the end. It's great on a baked potato. It's great on rice. It's great in a sandwich. It's great on a salad or on a baked sweet potato. If you want to go that way, you can put it over fries and put some cheese sauce on there. Like there's so many fun options. You can make it into nachos. I don't know, whatever you want. And I love recipes like that because I can put it together in the morning and then at the night I can enjoy it. And if you have leftovers, you don't have to add sauce to all of the meat. You can just take out a portion of it and turn half of it into barbecue pork and the other half into salsa pork for tacos. So like there's lots of options. It can go lots of directions. All right, so we have about 4-pound pork roast. Show the roast. Yeah, so we've got about a 4-pound pork roast. This is a rump roast, which comes from the shoulder of the pig. And it's bone in, so it does still have its bone in there. And like I said, I got it cooking a little bit earlier just so that I could still eat it for dinner tonight. It would be ready for dinner. But normally I would make this all in the morning and then just go to work. And when I come home, I would shred it up and add the final sauce. So we're going to add 1 onion sliced. You could dice this onion. I like the way that the shredded pork and the thin sliced onion kind of meld together and you can't really tell which is which. So we're going to add that. We are going to add, sorry, Katie, we're going to add, okay, switch spots here. We're going to add a nice big tablespoon of garlic. This is garlic. Yeah. Would fresh taste better? Yeah. Do I have fresh? No. So, are we going to use fresh? No. This is some white peppercorns from IndriVanilla.com. You could also use black pepper, but I had white pepper and I like showing off what spices that we have. Okay. Don't die, Katie, but smell that and tell them what you think. Katie's pretty spice sensitive, so maybe that was the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, that was.
Should I go?
All right, we're going to add. Now, if I was doing this with not intending for it all to be barbecue pork, I would not include the smoked paprika at this point. But because I am intending this to all be barbecue pork, well, barbecue flavor, it's not smoked. I'm not claiming that this is barbecue. Anyway, I'm adding some smoked paprika and I'm going to add a little bit of chipotle. Not too much because the child that's holding the phone would be really mad. And then we're going to add a couple of, like a big twirl of molasses. You can also do brown sugar. And I will probably taste this when it's all done to see if it's sweet enough or spicy enough, and I can adjust my my spices. And of course, we need a good squirt of vanilla paste. I made this vanilla paste about a month ago on another Sweatpants Saturday, and I haven't yet fully finished. I still need one more ingredient that I didn't want it to soupify all over my counter. This is 1 12-ounce can. I'm gonna make sure, yeah, I had the correct amount of apple juice concentrate from the frozen section of my store. So we're going to add apple juice concentrate. And I love the way that the vanilla and the smoky, salty ingredients that we just added, the onion, the garlic, the molasses, the sweet molasses, all of it makes this really rich, oh, and of course the sweet apple juice, fruity, smoky, salty, super luscious pulled pork. When this is all done, after it's cooked all day on my stove, I have another cute nephew who's like, we're gonna put it in the crock pot and then what? We're gonna cook it all day long. So that's what you do now. But that pork is gonna be really good. And I'm gonna put my favorite barbecue sauce on it. I like to save some of the liquid as I'm shredding up the pork so that, I forgot to put in the vanilla bean. We'll put in the vanilla bean too, because we had it from the, it makes just, I love this recipe because it can go any which way. If you want to just leave it the way it is and serve it over a baked potato, you can do that. And if you want to serve it on sandwiches, you can add your favorite barbecue sauce and make it into really good sandwiches. There's just so many fun options there. So that's my pork. And we've got the cake. We've still got like 5 minutes left on the cake. Please. All right, question time. We've got 5 minutes while we wait for the cake to be done. Do we have any questions? No? No questions? I'll just sit here and do a song and change. Okay, so there were people that did ask some things on, like, as I was prepping to make this video. People always want to know what's coming up next. And it's fair. I like to know what's coming up so that I can prepare and budget, and I can say, all right, this is how much money I want to set aside, this when I need to set my alarm and make sure that I can get the order forms. But the problem is we don't know what's coming up. We have on our resources page, which I did not link, but if you go to IndriVanilla.com, there's a blue banner right at the top that says learn more about our vanilla bean group orders or something like that. You can click that banner and it will take you to our resources page, or you can go to the about section, or it's in featured. We put the resources pages kind of all over the place. The link to it so that you can find it really easily. But the third resource is the group order status spreadsheet. And we update that status spreadsheet when we know what we are going to be offering. We don't have other information than that. Obviously we have to place orders with the suppliers, but we don't like to reveal that until we know when the beans are going to actually be available. So when we schedule a group order, we put it in that group order status spreadsheet, and that's where we put the schedule. And we're not holding back information from you. That said, we often get asked, when are we doing spices? When are we doing cinnamon? When are we doing peppercorns? When are we doing blank vanilla bean variety? When are we gonna have this again? We do kind of try and follow a pattern. First of all of the spices, cinnamon, peppercorns, saffron, and any other spices that we might be able to procure will all be done during the summer. So I think the soonest that we're planning on doing one of those is probably May. And those will be true group orders, true pre-orders. We will field the orders. Then we will count up exactly how much people want. We probably leave it open for 3 to 7 days so that everybody has plenty of time to get on there and order as much as they would like. And then we will order just that amount from our suppliers. We'll probably order a little extra because there's always a chance of spoilage or product getting lost. And we want to make sure that we can fulfill all orders. Then we will place that order with our supplier, and it might take 6 weeks to 6 months. Yes, this has happened before for those spices to get to us, and then we will fulfill them as soon as they arrive. I know it's a long turnaround time, but that's the best way that we have come up with doing this, because when we bring the spices to us, then we have to store them, and we can't store them with vanilla beans. So we have to pay for a separate storage, and that really starts to eat away at our price point and drive prices up. And we don't want to do that to you guys. Also, we have stressful flash sales. They sell out. People are upset because they didn't get what they wanted. It's just not our favorite way of doing it. So the spices will be true pre-orders. They will be in the summer. And I do know that probably next week we'll work as an admin team to figure out our upcoming schedule. It might be, so be just keeping an eye on that status spreadsheet. We'll put notes up there as soon as we know more.
If you're gonna buy anything, buy some candles.
Oh yeah, I think they're actually all sold out. I think the ones that you made are all sold out, Katie. Katie is the one that made all the candles for the candle site. And now we're going to actually I'm glad that you brought them up, Katie, because the place that where we were getting our tins and our wicks and stuff kind of changed some of their design. So we are going to take them back to the drawing board and see if we can make a pack. The biggest thing that we need to do is we need to find tins that will fit in our boxes a little bit better. And so, but we're going to be kind of redesigning, and then we will relaunch them when we've had a chance to make a bunch more. So, that's for the little one. That was my guesstimate for when the little cake is done. Our cake is hopefully done. Let's test it. It does smell really good. This is my Tres Leches cake. This is my birthday cake because tomorrow is my birthday. All right, so the big one is still cooking, but I think that the smaller cake, yeah, it comes out clean. So I think that we're good. So I'm going to pull it out. Sorry, big cake. We'll just kind of put them back in there. There we go. It smells so vanilla-y. All right. So Tres Leches cake in just our last couple of minutes. This is, I need this is what I need. So Tres Leches cake is called Tres Leches because it has 3 milks in it. And that's not including the milk that we already put into the cake itself. So it's this light, you can see it's like super, super light and airy, vanilla flavored cake.
You can see where she poked it.
Yeah. She's like, there's a hole. We're going to poke it more. But then you pour over a blend of 3 types of milk, and we use sweetened condensed milk, evaporated milk, and heavy cream. So Katie, you show those for a second. I'm gotta prep a few ingredients here. And of course, if anybody has any questions, I've said it a few times, feel free to
she just wants you to ask questions.
Yeah, ask all the questions. So we're gonna need to open up put my spices away. I'm done with those. But okay, get some. So we're gonna mix together these 3 types of milk, and we're gonna soak the cakes with the milk. It might not look like it will all absorb, but it will. We just will refrigerate it overnight, and then it gets really, I love this cake. I don't know how to describe it. I know that people hate the word moist, but it's like milky. So yeah, it's gonna be moist.
But it's like, it's not the bad type of moist, it's the good type of moist.
It's full of this milky stuff, and it has kind of a pudding almost like consistency, like a bread pudding or a French toast. The inside of French toast where it's all soft and squishy. So, I mean, if you're not the kind of person that enjoys that type of, let's look this way. If you're not the kind of person that enjoys that type of texture, well, then maybe this is not the right cake for you, but it's the right cake for me. So some sweetened condensed milk. I'm, again, making a double batch. So I'm going to mix all of my milk together and then eyeball about a third of it for this cake, and then the rest, or maybe a quarter of the total milk for this smaller cake, and then the rest I will save for my big cake. This takes forever.
I'm getting tired.
So IndriVanilla right now, our group order is Tulip, that's its nickname. It's Ecuador V Tahitensis vanilla beans, and they are so sweet and so fragrant. If you're interested in those will be open the rest of this next upcoming week, open through February 23rd. On February 24th, I just got to do my plug while I'm pouring out this very slow dripping sweetened condensed milk. February 24th, we will open the next group order. It will be nicknamed Yolks, and it will be for Ugandan V planifolia vanilla beans, which are incredibly chocolatey. It's one of our darkest flavor profiles. It's got like notes of like coffee. They're really earthy. And I really like to pair them with dark alcohols like bourbon, spiced rum. You don't have to, but I like to. And then use those in all of my like chocolate-based desserts. So good. All right, so now we have 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk. Gonna add 2 cans of evaporated milk. If I was making just a regular 13 by 9 pan of this, and I was only making a single batch of this cake, it would be 1 can of each of these.
Yum, yum, yum.
We're also working on a t-shirt order. We got to get them designed, and then we'll figure those out. So, and then the last thing I need, I keep putting things down in the wrong spots. The last thing I need is 2 cups of cream. This is not a light. Well, it has a very light texture and a light flavor, but it is not low calorie. This is a birthday cake because it's my birthday and I am going to enjoy it. So yeah, does it have a cup of cream in that? And then you're going to top it with another 2 cups of whipped cream? Yeah. Am I okay with that on my birthday? Heck yes. I hope that you enjoy your birthday too with a treat that is special to you. All right. So we're just going to mix that together. The sweetened condensed milk takes a little bit of work to kind of incorporate into the milk.
Me?
And of course, my fork that I got to poke holes in the cake, I used to get the sweetened condensed milk out of the can, so now it's all sticky. So I'm just going to quickly rinse that off. All right, now we're going to poke holes into the cake. I like to do this when it's still pretty warm, but maybe not like immediately upon coming out of the...
We don't want it to fall apart.
Yeah. I've got a little piece there that kind of came apart, but we just want to break that top crust open so that the milk can really seep down into the cake. Now, ooh. Yeah,
Good.
I licked the fork. I licked the little cake off the fork. It's really good. And I'm not really telling Katie sneaking that little piece of cake that was stuck on there. And she's nodding her head. What do you think, Katie?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
It's a good cake.
Happy birthday to Mom. Okay, so we have almost 8 cups of liquid. So a quarter of that would be 2 cups. And that's probably the safest way to go about doing it. About 2 to 2.5 cups that I want to put in this smaller cake. So here's the risk of doing this live.
Oh.
And you make a mess. You spill some of your, well, I'll have to clean that up.
Okay, I can eat it.
It's just milk. All right, then we just start pouring it over. And that's how you make Tres Leches. I like to top this. So we're going to pour in all that milk and see how it looks like. Oh no, it's not going to absorb. I promise you it will. And by tomorrow morning, probably even within 30 minutes, it will just look like cake. You won't even be able to see the milk in it anymore. I will cover this with plastic wrap, refrigerate it overnight so that it can really absorb. You can refrigerate it for only a couple of hours, but I might as well make it the day before so that tomorrow I can just enjoy my birthday and not be making cake. So that's, I will have it. And then when it comes time to serve, I will whip up some fresh whipped cream, probably with some vanilla paste or maybe with more of the PNG Tahitensis and coconut rum extract that we used in the cake itself, which I'm not detecting any coconut in that, like that little teeny crumb sample that we tasted.
You can see the vanilla speckles.
Yeah, you can see the caviar in there that we put in from that juicy, juicy bean. I know it doesn't look super appealing. Once it's covered in whipped cream, it will be gorgeous. Another thing we like to do sometimes is slice up some fresh fruit. Berries like strawberries or raspberries are really good. We've put fresh peaches on it, which is divine when it's peach season. It's a really great vanilla forward cake. The recipe is in the IndriVanilla cookbook if you want to check that out. I also shared the recipes up in the description of this video. Do we have any last minute questions? Katie, are there any last minute questions on there?
I don't think so.
All right. If anybody has other questions, please put them in the comments or, I don't know, just send them otherwise. Anyway, I hope that you make something yummy and make. Katrina asked me to make. Katrina Karan, our moderator, asked me to make something messy. I made something messy for you. That's for you right there, Katrina. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a good week. I hope you make something really vanilla-y and delicious on behalf of my birthday.
Buy some candles when they come out.
Buy some candles when they come out. Have a great week. We sure care about you guys. I hope that you had a restful Valentine's Day and we hope that you're well. And if you're not, well, here, I'll send you a hug. And have a great one. We'll talk to you later.